Get it out here.
Good.
I'm not going to be sitting up there. Or just...
The only other spot is on the other side of Greg over there,
Oh.
or you can sit there if you want, it don't matter.
Okay.
Greg can look at it.
Sir, they promised $50.
Oh, tomorrow.
See you?
Yeah. He's coming out. But then I'm sorry, I didn't know.
How are you?
All right, I think we're about ready. Is everybody ready? I'd like to start tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you everybody for being here tonight on this rainy night. We'll start out with a roll call.
Ron Alberico,
Here.
Greg Bickus,
Here.
Barb Boyce,
Here.
Barb Delaney,
Here.
Dee Morelli,
Here.
13 Construction,
Here.
Utility Management,
Here.
Attorney Carl Buck.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Everybody in their packet should have the minutes of the last meeting of September 25th, I believe it was. I do need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Greg Bickus. Any questions of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You also have the approval of the emergency meeting that we did not have a quorum for, which was, let's see if I got that date, I don't know if I have it handy. September 4th, and the other emergency meeting, which was held on September 20th, no, it wasn't September 25th, was it?
September 11th.
The 11th. I think I need a motion to pass those minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Greg Bickus. Any questions of those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You have the approval of the bills of $58,395.18. Do you need a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Got a motion by Greg Bickus,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Any questions of the bills? Hearing none, we'll go for a roll call, please.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Bickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney,
Yes.
Dee Morelli.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is citizens wishing to address the board here tonight. Any citizen? Yes, please, just state your name for the minutes.
Okay. My name is John Connor. I am the state representative for the 85th District. Okay. I'd like to thank first the ladies and gentlemen of the Water Board for allowing me time to speak tonight. I'm going to try to be brief. I just wanted to bring up one issue that I worked on when I was down in Springfield since April of this year that I believe is relevant to some matters that the board is considering in terms of private acquisition of the water district by Aqua Company. So basically, when I got down to the legislature, a 5-year test program by statute for Illinois American Water and Aqua was coming to an end. So I was asked to consider legislation that extended that test program another 10 years and removed a 7,500 household limit on that legislation. And what the legislation basically said was that Illinois American Water and Aqua, the two private water companies in Illinois, could go in and bid on municipal water systems of 7,500 households or less. And then in order to pay for that acquisition of those systems by the company, they could raise the rates of their existing customers. So to me, it just kind of sounded like a Ponzi scheme because basically they get to keep acquiring systems. They're not using any corporate funds in order to acquire them. They're just raising the rates on their existing customers who, once their municipal water systems have been privatized, they can't vote anyone out. They have no control over that private water system in terms of their rates. So basically what Illinois American Water and Aqua both did is they presented legislation to extend that program out another 10 years, which they're doing because they're making money at it, obviously, or they wouldn't be coming down and lobbying the legislature to extend the program. And in addition, they removed the 7,500 household limit. So what ends up happening is basically that the customers then, they lose all control over their water supply, except for the bill payment. And so on April 19th, when the bill came up, I made an argument on the floor. I managed to convince a couple other legislators to vote against it, but Illinois American Water had already lobbied very successfully almost the entire rest of the legislature. The bill ended up winning 69-37 with 2 people not voting. There was a motion to reconsider, but basically there was no way we were going to flip enough people that the bill wasn't going to make it. So in July, I did a newspaper article asking Governor Rauner to veto the bill. Senator Sue Rezin held a press conference on June 25th out in Homer Glen, another community seriously affected by these rates. She as well asked the governor, along with the Citizens Utility Board, to veto the bill. The bill was signed into law by the governor on August 10th. So despite our objections, the bill became law. So here's the bottom line is that every acquisition that these companies make from now on will be paid for by their existing customers. They don't have to go to the ICC and ask for rate increases. As long as they do the acquisition, they can go ahead and raise the rates. So this applies to both Illinois American Water and Aqua. And under the circumstances, and again, I'm just basing this on my experience since coming into office last June. The number, I got quite a few emails when this bill was up from Bolingbrook residents saying, please don't give them any further power. Our rates go up on a regular basis. At one time, they were calculated at approximately 16% a year. The water rate increases occurred. When I argued on the floor and I mentioned that amount, the lobbyist for Illinois American Water called me afterwards and said, I don't think that's correct, I'll get you some better numbers. Well, that was April. I haven't gotten any new numbers since then. So I do think that that number was at least ballpark close enough to what the actual increases were. And so basically my experience since coming in has been that the 23,000 or so Bolingbrook residents who have a private water company, Illinois American Water, I have not had anyone say, boy, I'm really glad that we have Illinois American Water. Now, again, that's just anecdotal. Maybe there are happy residents out there whose water have been privatized and they're okay with the rate increases, or they believe that their quality of water has increased. They're not the ones contacting me. It's so far, in my experience, it's just been people saying, boy, I really wish that we had a municipal water system and not Illinois American Water. So all I would ask is that this board, in making this decision, and I'm not arguing that it might not be a good thing in this particular scenario, because I don't know the condition of the pipes or what problems the system's facing where an influx of capital might be significant in terms of the improvement to the system and to the basically the safety of the water involved. But I can only comment on the residents in Bolingbrook who've gotten in touch with me who already have a private water company. And again, so far in my experience, I haven't had a whole lot of positive input from those residents, and they believe their rate increases are beyond what they should be paying. So I would ask that this board, definitely consider the 2 bids, or consider 2 bids from each of the 2 private water companies. But please keep in mind that the rate increases, these are companies that are for-profit companies, and they make those profits by increasing the rates of customers who don't have any vote in order to change that, at least not as the system is currently set up. So as someone who represents all the residents of Fairmont who are affected by this water district, and residents in Bolingbrook who already have a private water company that's providing them water, I would just ask this board to please carefully consider what occurs. And if you can build something into the contract with either Aqua or Illinois American Water, depending on how things proceed from here, please keep in mind the rate increases that other companies, or excuse me, other customers have experienced, and negotiate that into any contract with Aqua or Illinois American Water, that the residents are not going to get just basically a 15% increase for the next decade or something along those lines, so that the residents are protected in some way, since they will no longer have a vote on what happens or really input on what occurs once any sale is completed. So I trust the members of this board. I know that everyone wants basically for the water and sewer system to work best for the residents. And so I just wanted to come tonight and give the experience that I got from my Bolingbrook constituents, as well as the legislation that that was signed into law in August, so that the board has some idea kind of what the experience has been in the rest of the state with privatized water, and in particular with the residents in Bolingbrook. So thank you all for the time tonight. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Any other citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on. Utility management report.
Just to give you an update on Wall 2 Bruce Road, that it was removed. They made the motor, it is bad, it's going to need to be replaced, along with a lot of the fractures are blocked. They televised that. I did watch some of that. I'll get a video of that in the next couple of days. And that the static water level has dropped substantially since the last time it was pulled. They feel, I talked to them this morning, they feel that, doing the air bursting will, help that. So we're going to proceed to do that, put it back together. So with any luck, if their air bursting machine is available, we should have it up and running by the end of next week. Also, how the system's operating right now, I run Princeton during the day till the drawdown of Princeton gets below what I feel comfortable with, and I turn it off, and then once the tank level goes down, the interconnect opens with the city. There was some work had to be done to the interconnect. They had to do some reprogramming, and then there was a pressure reducer out, but that's all taken care of. So it's actually working pretty well.
So there's no real issue with supplying water at this point?
No, I talked to Scott during the operator of Lockwood today, and I was asking him, they're digging a deep well, and I asked him, does the well company thought, well, if there was something going on in the area, maybe that lowered the water table. They're currently digging a deep well, but it's out on the other side of 355. North of 151st, I think. They're down 1,200 feet already. I don't know how deep they're going. And I asked Scott, because they have some shallow wells in that area, like right at 151st and 355 where the water tower's at. And he says he hasn't seen any substantial decrease there, but he was going to do some research on all the other wells for me and let me know if they've experienced any of this problem.
So it might be just differential being filled.
Yeah. But and again, I talked to well people about what's strange is both wells did it about the same time. And I'm going to do some research and go back in my records and see what those dates were within the last couple of months. And, kind of try to pinpoint it. I asked if Joliet had any wells going on. The well company said they don't know any activity the city is doing, but it's possible that one of the private companies could be doing it, and it's not public record. So we're going to research that too.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Larry, I have a quick question. With the interconnect being open, how was the water quality for the residents with the turbulence of the pipes that haven't been used in a while?
When we
Been
opened
any
it,
complaints?
or
Was there complaints once when you opened and closed that?
I think there was one. The first day, and actually that was the day we were testing it. I had the city out there with me and Metropolitan Industries out there, and that's the first day we tested it. And what we did is open the hydrant on our side, close the hydrant on the city side, and run the valve up and down. So it hadn't been open for a couple of years, so I'm assuming that it broke a lot of rust and everything in that valve. Then we opened the city side with our hydrant still open. I know there was one complaint up at this office.
Yeah,
We didn't receive any complaints.
Okay.
I received a complaint that day. Just one. The one that you're referring to.
And I don't even know where that was at. I didn't have the address. I'm assuming it was on Orange
Well,
Avenue.
it's not that bad though.
Yeah.
Right.
Would that be for rust or water pressure or what?
Rust. The water pressure actually is higher now because Lockport's probably 5 PSI higher than we are. So when that's open, it actually works real well. And I asked Scotty today, I don't even think they noticed. Because they're pumping 3 million gallons of water a day, and we're using about 70,000 their water, so it's not a substantial amount of water.
All right, any other questions? Chris, 13 construction?
No, unless there's any questions for me.
Any questions for 13? Hearing none, we'll go into old business. Tonight we have Robinson Engineering here to give us a little update as to what's going on with the IPA, Illinois Environmental Protection Agency's loan update.
Thank you, Ron, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for inviting me out tonight. I just have kind of a brief update. We submitted the project plan back in January of this year. We did receive comments rather quickly, and we've held off addressing them until the rate increase has been established. And now that that's in place, we've evaluated the costs we can go after, and then we can zero in on the areas of the water main replacement and then the valve. And I'm not sure where, I haven't had a chance to catch up with Ron yet about the tank painting, because he was doing his own investigation on if he was going to use a separate contractor or get a different quote for that. So, but now that we've got all that in place, we can follow up with addressing all their questions, and we'll move forward in the next step, which should be either the public environmental impact determination, or hopefully to be the categorical exclusion. There isn't going to be significant environmental impact because it's already existing utilities in the ground, the water main, the valves, the tower. There's no impact to that. Everything would be contained within the curtain, so there wouldn't be rust or dust or anything flowing off of that. So the categorical exclusion, it doesn't require a public hearing. It would just put the project plan on file here at the township office, and then it's open for comments from the public for 10 days. After that, we gather any comments received, send it down to the project manager at Springfield, and then we move forward with loan approval from there.
When would that plan be ready?
I would suspect I'll have it done probably the first week of October.
Okay. All right, so are you thinking the next water board meeting, which is the end of October, or are you thinking November?
No, I'll have an update
Okay.
by the next board meeting.
All right. I just have another question, not in regards to the IEPA loan though, but at our last meeting, there wasn't really an update on the Princeton replacement. Do you have any information on that?
On the water line?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're finishing up the plans. I just have a couple things to go over with Larry. So I would, I'm not familiar with how you do the bid process here, if you need to open them at a board meeting, or if they can be opened and then approved at the board meeting, but I don't see a problem with that being incorporated into the next board meeting.
Okay.
So, Chris, how do you guys typically handle that for bids?
I believe the last time we did a bid opening, we just did it in the supervisor's office. That way,
Okay.
they pick them up from here, and then they're turned in here, and then it was opened up in the supervisor's office and recorded.
Okay.
Minutes were taken, and then came to the board for approval.
Yeah, so we can schedule that for the week before the next board meeting, and then we'll have our bids and be able to present a recommendation at that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Under new business, we had some executive minutes that we, every 6 months, I believe it is, that we have to go over and decide whether to open them to the public. We asked our attorney to look them over, and it was his opinion at this point to keep them still closed for another 6 months. So I do would need a motion to keep the minutes closed for 6 more months.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barb Boyce,
Second.
second by Barb Delaney. Any questions?
Ron, how many executive meetings do we have? I'm gonna keep it close.
Right now, I think this is the only ones we've been having for quite a long time. Just to start with the process here. We haven't had any other meetings closed since I've been chair, I believe. All right, can I have a roll call, please?
Greg Dickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney,
Yes.
Dee Marley,
Yes.
Ron Alberico.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. The only other thing I have here in new business, or chairman's report, is to move $5,000 from our account into the infrastructure account. We have been doing it every month for a while now, so I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion from Barb Delaney,
I'll second it.
second by Barb Boyce. Can I have a roll call, please?
Dee Marley,
Yes.
Ron Alberico,
Yes.
Greg Dickus,
Yes.
Barb Boyce,
Yes.
Barb Delaney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. The only other thing I have tonight is we're going to an executive session again tonight. We have a lot of business we've been trying to conduct. It'll be for 2C6 to set the sale of property owned by the public body. Motion to authorize appraisal of the water system. So I need a motion to go into executive session.
Excuse me, Ron, before we do that, can I just make a quick comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to make a comment that I was on the website today, and it's coming along very nicely with the work that's being done to it. But I just did notice one thing that is not on the website is the way we have the meetings and the minutes for the regular meetings. There's nothing for the water board. Is there a reason that we don't do that?
They will be on a new, it will be on a new website. To pay them to put the tab on it for all the water board, because we are changing websites. I just didn't think it was necessary, to pay the guy to do all that work.
But isn't it something like once they start it, that we can start doing that internally? That we
Yeah,
can start, okay.
Yeah,
Once we get it-
on a new one, it can be done.
We're still working on
Working
the
on it.
system, yeah.
Okay.
They'll all be put on the new one.
Okay, but in the future, they will be on there.
I hope, I'm trying to stay away, as far away from this website as I can, anything about it. But yeah, it's our intention to get all minutes and everything we can on the website, so we want the department also. All right, other than that, I would need a motion to go into an executive session.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Barb Delaney,
Second it.
second by Barb Boyce, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it, we're going into executive session. Thank you, everybody, for your patience.